Hello guys, welcome back. To complete the basic part of our application, a Laravel application course, there is one topic left, which is migrations. And migrations is really interesting. What it enables us is to create these files to track database and create that database to track database changes, to even create them, and just avoid working on a database manually as we have done in the previous episode. So if you remember, I think it's in episode 4, working with database, I will connect, we created a tickets table, which is fine, but in most application development, when there is a change in the database, one developer makes it, the other developers don't know it. And so maybe I want to add a colon here, and that colon is not added to another developer. So this kind of thing is cause a lot of confusion in application development. And to avoid this, what we want is to make this process automated. So I'll delete this drop table. And now I don't have any tables. And if I run my application here, I'll obviously get an error, base table not found or something, which is great, which is what I wanted. So instead, what I'll do is, so even the error page that comes with Laravel 7 suggests you might have forgotten to run your migration. You can run your migration by doing php artisan migrate. This is talking about migration, which is what we want to do. So here there is a migration folder. When I run a command here, a file will be created here instead of the database. That file is a file that will track the changes that happen in the database. This is migrations. This is what I'm talking about. So I'll zoom in. See this database migrations. Here would be the file that we want to create. This is where it will be. So I'll move my terminal over here. And this is where I'll write php artisan make migration. So the error page, if you remember, is saying run php artisan migrate, which is another command that we will write once we have our migration file in place. But we don't have any, the only migration files we have are the ones that come with Laravel, and this is for users table, and this is for failed jobs table. Both we are not interested yet. So, however, you can see the format of this file name, which is very important. Again, most things in Laravel are conventions, and this is another convention. Create users table. This is the format we want to follow. The part before that is the timestamp, which is the time this file is created, which was in 2014, long time ago. So what we want to do is php artisan make migration and give it the name of migration file, which is create. What we want to do is create tickets, just like users here. We want to say tickets, make it small. Table. That's it. You click enter and it has created migration file called the timestamp with create tickets table. So I'll go back here and I find that table here, tickets table, which is perfect. And these two methods are already created for us. See, this is a create tickets table. The class is that2, and it has two methods, the up and down. The up is used to create the table. It has a schema create tickets. So it's used to create. The down is to drop tickets. These two methods are run when we run two artisan commands, which are php artisan migrate and php artisan rollback. These are two commands we regularly run in our terminal, and they are used when we write php artisan migrate command and run it. This method is executed. When we write php artisan migrate colon rollback, this method is executed. This method is used to reverse whatever we did here. If we are creating a table here, this one is used to drop the table. If we are creating a colon here, this one is used to drop the column. So in this case, the table name, the table is already started for us. This is table ID. In previous versions like Laravel 6, it goes the primary key goes like dollar table, big integer ID, and something like that, and then you have to specify that it's primary key. In this case, we don't even have to do that. It just dollar table ID and dollar timestamp always come. The timestamp creates two columns for us, which is created at updated at. So don't worry about that. I'll just go ahead and create the other tables. The other columns. To do that, you say dollar table, specify the data type. It's a string for the title. As it assumes it's non-nullable. To make it nullable, you have to add nullable. The next is for the description. I can also have something for the category. Since it's a reference from another table, we'll see that later, but I can have something for the status, like tiny int. I can make it a tiny integer for status, and it will be something like, if it's 1, it means resolved. If it is 0, it's not resolved, something like that. Description can be null, so I add nullable here. So this is enough. I save this. Remember, I have deleted the table here. Now when I run php artisan migrate and hit enter, come here, refresh it, tables are created for me. This is the tickets table, what I have created. Tickets table. Users table, that's what comes with Laravel. I haven't created that, but it's good to have it here. And migrations table, which tracks the number of migrations I have run this on, and how many times a migration file have been running and stuff like that. So the ticket table have title with varchar 255. This is a colon size. We haven't specified that. This is a default description text, and it's nullable. I don't think you can see that. I will move it over here. Yes, this is nullable. Okay. Status is tiny int. The created add and the updated add are created because of the timestamp. So I can create more php artisan migrate commands. What is very commonly challenging situation here is when you have a change in here. You want, for example, add another column. To do that, you can create another migration file, something like PHP artisan make migration add, for example, add image to tickets table. If you want to add image or colon to the tickets table, I can specify that image colon. The most important thing is specify the table here. That way Laravel would help us by importing the table and starting the code base for us. So I'll create a migration table like that. Click enter. I come here and I see another migration file is created for me. This time, instead of schema create, it's saying schema table. What that means is it already knows the table tickets. It infers that from my command here, because I'm saying tickets table. It inferred, oh, it is working with tickets table. So in the app, I can say I can add the column I want. Table string, which is image, and I can make it nullable. I want to make it nullable because all users might not attach screenshot of the problem they are dealing with, so I'll make it nullable. And here I'll do the opposite, which is to drop the table, the column. Table drop column, and then I specify the column name, which is image. This would accomplish what we want to add, which is add the column image when we migrate and remove the column image when we roll back. We haven't seen rollback, so remember how I have to delete the table from here manually. With rollback, all I have to do is PHP artisan migrate rollback, and this reverses the last migration command I did, which is PHP artisan migrate, and get rid of all these tables from here. So everything is removed except the migration table, which talks about how many type migration have been run. Other than that, everything is removed. So I'll write PHP artisan migrate. See, this time the create tickets migration file and the add image column to tickets table migration file are both executed. So when I come here and refresh, in my tickets table, I'll have another column called image. So this is what you will do in a production environment where you have data in the database already. You don't want to change things. You don't want to touch anything in the column. You don't want to roll back. But if you are working in a non-production environment, which is what we are doing, the change in a column, if you want to add a column, you can just come here, table, and then specify the column. It's image, it's nullable. That will do it. Another thing is, if you have something like table, again tiny int, some kind of status, this case priority of the ticket, and then I can give it default, which is another important thing. The default priority could be normal, in our case could be 1. And so these are codes we would have to put in either a lookup table or in our configuration file, which we'll discuss later. So 0 could be low, 1 is normal, and 2 is high. This could be the priorities. And I can specify that by saying even comment, and I can add this comment I wrote in here in my database table if I like to. So since I don't have the squiggly line, is because it wants this one to be here. So I have added this priority in image columns here, so I don't really need this now. I'll delete that and run the PHP artisan migrate rollback. I'll say migrate. I can say migrate rollback and then run PHP artisan migrate. Another way of accomplishing these two commands at once is to just use PHP artisan migrate and say fresh. I run this command. I think I haven't saved. I'll run it again. And then if I come to my database, refresh everything, and so you see the change here. I have title, image, which was down here, came over here because of the order I gave it here. I have description, priority, create that, update that. So not only are we able to create database table creation and automate it, we are also able to make changes and track the changes. And we in our Laravel application, when we give this to a colleague who will want to continue working on this, he can just run this migration file and have all the database structure and the schema as we wanted. So once we have this, we will have to create the models and the categories every time. And there is a way in Laravel to accomplish all this in one command. So that's what we'll see next. I'll zoom in again. Here, there is an interesting command, PHP artisan make migration, create category table, and then you can say -m c, which is model and controller. So when you create the migration table, with that you can also create the model in the controller and other files that come with it. You click enter, and I'm sorry, so this goes the other way. You can create PHP artisan make model. The model is category. And then you can specify the migration in the controller. You can say create the controller in the migration. But for that, I have to delete the category model here. And then say enter. Controller already exists. I should have deleted that. I can come here delete this and run the whole thing again. Controller is here. So it creates the migration file in the controller in the model for us. So if I go to the migration file, it has ID and timestamp just like the other one. So I can say table and then string. The category has some kind of name, sure, and then table text. It will also have a description. And that description is not required, so I'll say it's nullable. So I have the migration file here, the category file here, the category model is created for me, and the controller is also created for me. The controller is not resourceful. You can specify that by saying -r. So I'll give you an assignment. The assignment is to add some data in your category table here. I haven't run the migration here. PHP artisan migrate. We'll do it. So here I'll refresh. I have the category table here created. It has name, description, but it doesn't have any data. So put in some data, extract this data using the model, and display it as a list. So this is enough for us for today. Next time we'll get real and start developing our application, which is a ticket tracking application. I'll stop the recording.